Good morning, everyone. So today we are going to discuss about the application of the optical fiber. In the previous topic, we have discussed about the application of the optical fiber in the communication system, where we have seen there was a transmitter, there was a medium, then there was a receiver, and the optical fiber act like a medium which help in communication of the signal to take place. Today we are going to discuss more applications. Now next is in medical field, then in military application, then how they can be used optical fiber as sensors. Similarly, then we will discuss advantage and limitations of the optical fiber. So this is the today's topics of talk of discussion today. Now let us start with the endoscopy. Endoscopy is a device which is used to see the interior parts of the body. It consists of a number of pipes which are being there, and a screen is there, and these pipes are inserted through the mouth, and then the laser is being sent, and after reflection the laser beam is coming out from these pipes, and then observation beam is being done on the screen. So from where we can detect various kind of defects. First of the application is that it can be used as a zestroscope. Zestroscope means, so gastroscope is an instrument which is used by physicians to examine the inside of the stomach. So doctor also use it when examining the esophagus and the upper part of the small intestines. So all these are being done with the help of um, gas spectroscope. So that means it deals with only the stomach part. Now, next is the bronchoscope, which is used to see the upper passage of the lungs, and then the third one is that is this one, and the third one is orthoscope, which is used to see the small spaces within the joints. For example, knee joints, head bone joints, all these joints are there. So small space if it is left out, which is done with the help of a ethoscope. So these are the various. All these are consists of the endoscope part. So basically, gastroscope consists of a long wire, rubber tubes, and a rigid metal section that has a lens and various controls. There are various controls are there, and two bundles of different glasses are called extended along inside of the gastroscope. So all these fibers, basically the same design of endoscope is for gastroscope, as well as for bronchoscope, and as well as for arthroscope. So all these are being same design for the same kind of fibers application. Then there's another application is ophthalmology. Ophthalmology is used to detach the retina, detach the retina, and to correct the defect of the vision. So we have seen there are different kind of defects like long-sightedness, short-sightedness, and different many more defects are there. So with the help of ophthalmology, optical fibers are used, and the laser is being used, with the help of which these defects can be get corrected. Then the doctors like cardiologists, they used laser angioplasty to expect balloon angioplasty and bypass surgery. They are going to use it over there. So these kind of instruments are used for different parts. So these are the various medical instruments where the endo fiber optics are playing a very important role. So optical fiber has a lot of application in the medical field. Now for military application. In military applications, one of the most important part is fiber optic guided missiles, where inside the fibers, the fiber and the laser, they play a role. So where to guide the missiles from one end to other part. For example, we have got a very huge height of hills are there, and we have to strike from this part to this part of the area. Since that due to very high height like Sachin Glacier or Mount Everest, so we cannot able to see directly from here part, or it is very difficult to ride over there, and we cannot able to fire it out. Earlier we used to have a radar, but radar accuracy was not much better because it can fall here, or it can fall upper, or it can fall here, so we cannot able to control the firemen, and we cannot able to do the exact losses to the enemy. So in fiber optic guided missiles, we use an optical fiber which is being attached, and then a camera is being attached up the upper end, which is connected with the optical fiber, and that fiber is connected with the control room, where signal can be sent to the optical fiber to the missile, and through the camera the reflected image is being studied through the fiber, and then it goes back to the control room, from where they can able to guide the direction. So as soon as the missile goes over here, so what happens, the camera is picking the pictures of the lower part, and then with the help of control room, the direction of the missile is being guided, and it can be exactly fired over at the destination. So this is how the fiber optic guided missiles can be used for the military in the military applications. Apart from it, another applications are that for transmission between submarines, optical fibers can be used. They are used to nuclear radiations and hence can be safely used for signal transmission near the nuclear installation because they are very resistant to nuclear radiations. So they can be used at very high temperature at the explosive condition because the silicates they are made up of which can able to bear 1000 degrees of temperatures, and they can be used to detect radiations of the order of 10 raised to minus 3 degree per hour. All these are the different applications, and they are also used to make the measurement of temperature of the order of 0.001 degree centigrade with very good response time other than any other thermometers. So these are the other applications where we can able to use it out. So this was about the application part. Now, next application is about the sensor. So that is very important part. Optical sensor. So how they can be used in optical sensor? Since we know that the light signal is used to travel. So if we can able to use in various kind of sensor like pressure sensor, temperature sensor, volume sensor, all these things are there. So for example, if we press this from the center, so light is coming out. If the light is this thing is closed, then the minimum light will be emitted out. So when the light will be not emitted out, the circle will be cut off, so no reading will be taken. So and this says this pressure is removed out, the light will come out. So that means by pressing or removing the pressure, we can able to get the amount of light. So that is one kind of sensor which is called as an optical pressure sensor. So similarly, the sensors could be of two category. The sensors could be of two types. Basically, the circuit diagram of sensor is like optical source, modulation zone, and then optical detection. So these are being fed into the fiber, and this is a return fiber. So what happens in this case, the modulated light beam directly or indirectly is done in the modulation zone. Modulation we have already discussed earlier. Modulation means to riding of the signal over the another signal. So this light beam can be modulated in one of the basic properties. What are the basic properties which can be done modulation? Modulation can be done either in intensity, means either intensity could be ride out, or phase could be ride out, or polarization could be radiation, or wavelength could be write out, or could be spectral distribution. So these are the five different properties under which the signal can be rided out. So riding means either, for example, weak intensity is there, high intensity light will be emitted. So small phase light is there, highly phase light are being passed. Small wavelength light is there, highly wavelength light are being added out. So all these are the diagrams. So these sensors are of two types. One is called as active sensor, another is called as passive sensor. So what happens, there are two arms are there, one is the reference arm, other is the sensing arm. So sensing arm should have minimum sensitivity to measure the small change in the quantity. So temperature sensor is used for measuring temperature difference, and gyroscope is used to measure the rate of rotation of the earth. Pressure sensor is used to measure the pressure. So this is how the sensors are going to be used out. Now next part is what are the advantages possessed by the optical fiber as compared to other one. First of all, it is a cheaper. Why it is cheaper? Because it is made up of silicates. So silicates are available in lot of abundance. So due to that, it can be easily available and can be fabricated at the lower rate. So that's why they are cheap. So the next application is they are smaller size and weight. Since the fiber we have seen, it is a thin, very thin fiber is there, and size is very small, and they are quite lighter. So it is not easy to require a very huge transport to carry out the fiber from one end to another one. And then the third advantage is they are very flexible, and they are very strong. They can easy to transport and install as compared to the metal cables. No effect of EM radiations. Since they do not undergo interference, so there is no effect of electromagnetic radiations are going to be takes place inside the optical fiber. Then the crosstalk. The crosstalk of the signal basically used to occur when the two different signal interfere with each other, and once they get interfere, so one signal cross to other and other signal cross to third one. So what happens? Let me give you the more detailed diagram. These are the 5 different wires which are being carried out. 1 2 3 4 5 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Let us say 1 1 2 communicate with 1 and not to 6. So all the 6 fibers are being there. Let us say he has dialed the number, the talk will go to him. Since the wires are very closely spaced, so due to induction the signal is going to transfer from one to another, and this process go on, and by the when the signal reach, it go to 5. So that means he dialed the number 1 and the call will go to number 5. Let us say it is a hospital and it is a police station, so he had dialed a number at hospital, but the call will go to the police station. So that is called as a cross-checking. So that occurs because of the electromagnetic induction in the earlier radio frequency cables, radio wave cables. But in case of optical signal, there is no such kind of phenomena, and no such kind of phenomena is there. So due to that, the crosstalk is going to be avoided. Now that is another advantage. Then the third advantage is wider bandwidth. A simple ordinary cable, 900 wires, for example a set of 900 cables, can able to carry 10,000 calls, while in a 1 millimeter fiber, while 1 millimeter optical fiber can carry 50,000 calls simultaneously. So due to that, the large amount of information is carried out in the optical fiber. They have very large bandwidth, and since they are very low losses, that is around 1 decibel to 0.2 decibel per kilometer, as compared to other fiber have got 10 decibel, 20 decibel per kilometer, like that kind of losses are there, and then they acquire very less space. So that is the advantage of the optical fiber. Now the last part is disadvantage. What is the disadvantage is that it is very difficult to join the fibers. Special techniques are required to make the join fiber. And second, once they get bent it out, they get cracks in occurs, and some kind of light is going to be lost inside the optical fiber. And then for long distances, some repeaters are being required, which are being communicate for which are required for communication of the system. Then the testing, if it is required, it is very complicated. Huge circuits has to be drawn to get the test whether where the fire has been broken or not, and then they require independent source as compared to the normal sources required in the normal sys one. So there are some problems which are occurred in such fibers. So if these losses are tolerable, then these optical fiber are of very much use. So this was all about the optical fiber.